24th, 2022. Time is 2:02 p.m. This is our weekly business meeting. Calling the meeting to order, attending Commissioners Duncan, Brooks, and Filios. And we will have a moment of silence for 30 seconds. Thank you. Okay, then. Thank you, everyone. Shelley, lead us in the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Okay, then. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
I think just pulling item 1 is the only thing.
Item number 1.
Yeah.
Oh, the minutes?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we're striking item number 1? Okay, then. So can we move on to item E, which is approving the meeting minutes?
Yes.
X, item 1?
Yes. I move that we approve items 2 through 6.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye, and the motion is carried. Moving on to the second item, which is the approval of the consent calendar.
And I move we approve items 7 through 10.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye, the motion's carried. Thank you. Payables list, please.
I move that we approve the payables for the week of May 16th through the 20th, 2022, in the amount of $766,328.78. And jury panel payments,
I second the motion.
Sorry, Bill. Jury panel payments, $3,778.14.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye. Motion's carried. Moving on to the business segment. Item 12, termination of agreement for the management of patients pursuant to Title 66, Chapter 13, Idaho Code. John Nest, CEO of Kootenai Health, and our prosecuting attorney, civil, Pat?
Yes, Pat Braden, Civil Deputy Prosecutor, for the record. This is a letter terminating what's commonly known as the police hold agreement or mental hold agreement that the county has had with Kootenai Health for at least a couple of decades. And I think it served both sides well. It assured payment for them while keeping costs at least somewhat under control for us in terms of paying for indigent mental holds as was required under Section 66-327 of the Idaho Code. That has been recently amended in this session to provide that the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare is now responsible for those payments, both pre-commitment as well as post-commitment. And therefore, this agreement is no longer needed as of March 20th, 2022. And so this letter just makes that makes that formal termination of the contract based on the change in the law. And I try to make the letter as self-explanatory as possible. So I would recommend that you approve and sign that.
Okay. Any questions for Pat?
Nope.
Motion?
I move that we execute the termination of agreement for the management of patients pursuant to Title 66, Chapter 3.
I'll second.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion's carried.
Thank you, ma'am. Be excused.
Yeah, go right ahead. Thanks, Pat. Item 13, Memorandum of Understanding, an MOU, between Kootenai and Community Hospital, needing board signatures for Boundary Community Hospital. And this is our 911.
Yeah, I think Alan?
Alan?
Actually, I think it was going to be Colin, but I'm going to try to take the ball.
Sure.
This is for the memorandum for using our radio system that we have
Yeah?
that would allow them to join and be part of the SWE-WIN agreement.
Yep. Yeah, the Southwest Idaho Wireless Integrated Network.
Okay.
Yeah, we've already signed a dozen of these, and so this one must just been
Just one more.
later.
Okay.
Yep.
Motion.
I move that we approve the memorandum of understanding between Kootenai County and Boundary Community Hospital.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, and the motion's carried. Item 14, grant amendment, and it's agreement ID 34X002. It's a funding agreement, an amendment with the Idaho Transportation Department for $200,000 cash and in-kind match of a local contribution of $50,000. Kim, for our Resource Management Office?
Yes, thank you. Kim Riley for the record. This is one of our agreements. We're a subrecipient of FTA funds through the ITD. This is just a performance period amendment, extending it another year through September 30th of 2023.
Okay. Any questions?
This is for the Phase 2, correct, at Riverstone?
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm sorry. We have several awards that we're using to fund that project, and this is the oldest award, so we're currently spending on this. Yes, it is for the RTC Phase 2.
Perfect. I'm good.
Motion.
I move that we approve grant amendment agreement ID 34X002, which is the funding agreement 34-002, the Idaho Transportation Department, the extension.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion's carried. Stephen, can we take 15 and 16 together?
Yes.
Go right ahead. Okay, so 15 is a consent to assignment of lease AAL 2018-800, assigning the lease to LLC Mayu Snowden at the airport. And item 16, same AAL number assignment to, so it's
It's
going.
801.
801.
Oh, that's 801. Okay, go right ahead, Stephen.
Commissioner Stephen Carrera for the record. This is an assignment from two individuals into an LLC because an individual passed away. So it's
Okay.
moving into an LLC. That's all it is.
Motion.
I move that we approve consent to assignment of lease AAL 2018-800 and AAL 2018-801, both to,
An LLC.
yeah, but is it Mayo Snowden LLC?
Don't recall off the top of my head right now.
Sorry, I can pull it up right here. Just want to make sure that we're getting the name right. It is,
Yeah, probably is. Huh?
it's actually 10500 Sensor Avenue LLC.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
That works.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, and the motion's carried. Item 17, advisory board appointment. For Travis Levitt to Noxious Weeds, term expiring 12/31 of 23.
But we did them together. Hang on one second. We did 15 and 16 together.
Yeah, and I think your motion read that way, didn't it?
It did. The problem is it's a different
Different
LLC.
LLCs.
Huh?
They are different LLCs, ain't they?
Yeah.
Different business entities, so
Back
probably want
up.
to secure that with another motion.
Okay, so we'll go back to item 16, and I move that we approve the assignment of lease AAL 2018-801 to 1044 Sensor Avenue LLC.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, and the motion's carried. Excuse me, item 17. And I'll just repeat it. Advisory Board appointment of Travis Levitt, excuse me, to Noxious Swedes, term ending 12/31/23.
Jonathan, did you want me to speak to it, or? Yeah, I think we have multiple openings there, and the Noxious Weeds Board, I think, is happy to have this person, and I guess that's about all we can say.
Okay.
I move that we approve the advisory board appointment of Travis Levitt to the Noxious Weeds Advisory Board. Term expires December 31st of 2023.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion's carried. Item 18, 18, Resolution 2022-38, fixed asset deletions at the airport. Stephen?
Commissioner Stephen Kerrigan, for the record, this is a deletion of fixed assets at the airport, various list of items that either are beyond useful life or things that actually went to auction. We just didn't do this.
Or something that got demolished.
Demolished, yes.
Okay.
Motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 2022-38, which is fixed asset deletions as outlined.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion's carried. Thank you, Stephen. Item 19, Resolution 2022-39, Federal Transit Administration Authorized Representative for the Resource Management Office. Kim?
Yes, thank you, Kim Riley, again for the record. We came before you on March 29th with our annual certifications and assurances, which are required for our FTA applications. We submitted that information with our current application, and they wanted additional detail, which has been added to a memo and an updated resolution that is before you now for approval.
I thought it sounded familiar.
Okay, motion.
I move we approve Resolution 2022-39, which is the FTA Authorized Representative Agreement.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion's carried. Item 20, Resolution 2022-40, renew the collecting of the E911 fees to fund the 124 budget for 911. Alan?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Alan Mallory for the record. We are requesting the board's approval to accept the resolution allowing us to continue the collection of the E911 fees allowed by us through the Idaho Code Title 31. This is a line surcharge of $1.25 collected that we commonly refer to as the 124 fund or budget.
Okay. Motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 2022-40, which is the renewal of the 911 fees.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, and the motion's carried. Okay, items 21 and 22, I think we can take together. Resolution 2022-43 and -44 to classify and destroy respectively records at HR. Kim, please.
Hi, Kim Van Slate for the record. So the Department of Homeland Security and Immigration Services requires that we hold an employee's I-9 for 3 years after their termination date. And so we're just asking for the classification and destruction of records older, 2018 and older.
Okay, motion.
I move that we approve resolution numbers 2022-43 and 2022-44, which is the classification and destruction of records.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, and the motion's carried. Thank you, Kim. Before we move on to public comment, why don't we go through our status?
Yeah, our pending item list, we only
Pending
have
item list?
two.
Uh-huh.
Facilities expansion, the RFQ bid submittal date was changed to 2 weeks from today, so I think that's June 7th.
Uh-huh.
So we should expect, and we actually did get one delivered, so that was kind of good news. But June 7th is our new due date. And then PAC Airport lease, there's nothing to report until it comes before us on a business meeting.
At a business meeting. Okay, good. Okay, so what I'll do as we go into public comment is I'll just make some comments regarding the economic forecast that I heard last week from the chief economist for the National Builders and Contractors Association, Robert Dietz. And I'll just go through some of the highlights. It was actually in the press, but I'll go through it as well. Does expect a mild recession next year, beginning in 2023. Doesn't expect it to be too deep. He does expect that in the long run, home building will lead us out of it, simply because there's such a shortage of inventory in the country. And so he expects that that would fuel the economic recovery. One of the big issues with the building industry, of course, is the price of lumber, which in May was $971 per 1,000 board feet, and it is now in April of 2020. I'm sorry, it's down from a high in April of 2020. Oh my goodness, it was in May. It was down from a high of $1,515 last year. In April of 20, it was $349. Part of the problem is that we get a third of our lumber from Canada, and there's currently a 12% tariff on Canadian lumber. The tariff is basically a tax that doesn't make any sense, according to Professor Dietz. And he's also talking about inflation, which has hit a 40-year high at about 8%. He expects that it will drop to about 2.6% over the next couple of years, which is still considerably higher than the 1.8% from 2016 to 18. He also had some other interesting stats. State of Idaho from 2020 to 2021, 12 months, population grew 2.9%, making it the fastest growing state in the U.S. From October of 20 to 21, Idaho and Arizona had the fastest growing home prices in the U.S. at 29%. Incidentally, reported last week, the city of Boise is expected to is viewed as 75% overpriced. 75% housing. Anyway, about 44% of Kootenai County households cannot afford to pay the October 21 average Kootenai County market rent of $1,402. I think it's higher than that, but okay. Now we get into demographics. Remember, Sam Molkenauer got into that too. The current U.S. birth rate of 1.6% is the lowest since the Great Depression. So that was early 30s. So that's 90 years. And there's more. The country is now short of 1.2 million construction workers. If everybody who was out of work today, I guess theoretically unemployed, went to work, we would still be short 2 million workers nationally. Labor force participation rate for women went from 33% in 1948 to 60% today, which incidentally matches or might actually exceed the male participation rate. The other interesting stat, which is, I don't know quite what to make of it, but 20 years ago, let me see if I've got this right. Ten years ago, oh, here we go. Okay, 20 years ago, forgive me, in the 25 to 34-year-old age group, 1 out of 10 lived at home with parents. Today, it's 1 out of 5, double the rate in 20 years. I don't know what to say about that. But there you have it. That's from Robert Dietz, chief economist for the National Builders and Contractors Association. He spoke last week. That's it for me.
Okay.
Any more public comment? Hearing none. I have 2:42, meeting adjourned. Thank you.